Hey Virgo, welcome to your August reading. So, like I've told everyone else so far, we have so much going on in August. It's the end of July now. Tomorrow's the first day of August, so I'm sitting here getting these videos recorded so that I can upload them. And yeah, just like kind of overlooking on the energies that are coming in this month. It's very intense. We've already had some pretty intense factors start. But overlooking it all, I have some things written down for you, some notes for Virgo, about what houses things are happening in. And I kind of just listed the things that are going to happen first and towards the middle of the month that are most important. And I've got them written down here. So one of the most important aspects happening for August is the full moon in your sixth house on the 7th. And we're going to have an Aquarius full moon, and Aquarius is 6 houses from you. And that's interesting, Virgo, because you are the sixth house. The sixth house represents lifestyle, health, a little bit about your job and the work you do, because that kind of fits in with lifestyle. So we have some other things going on towards the end of the month. But what I've decided to do, just like with the videos so far, is there's so many messages that I'm actually going to single out the different aspects and get certain cards for that. You know what I mean? So what we're going to go ahead and do is just get some information on that full moon first, and then we'll move towards the other aspects happening towards the end of the month. Whoa. So, we have these 3 dark cards here, and I wonder if that's enough. I'm going to say that's enough, Virgo, because right off the bat, I know that there's a new beginning happening for you. But we'll get to that. The first card that we have for you is the 8 of Wands. Leo got this energy too. So Virgo, for you, this full moon is definitely, Leo got this card first, just like you. So Leo and Virgo, you guys are definitely going to be experiencing the quickness of energies, like the picking up of energies. And Virgo, you're a very analytical and observant sign. So you actually might be able to feel and see these energies picking up. Like your 6th house of lifestyle, your whole life could change around this time. Because we have this 8 of Wands, which is, the way I like to look at this card is that there are archers that shot these arrows from every which way. And so basically there are these wands or arrows pointing to one direction. So there's going to be a certain area, which for you, Virgo, is your lifestyle. So there are 8 arrows being pointed at your lifestyle, and they're all on the move. So they're coming to you. It's like if this was your lifestyle, these arrows are like trying to reach it as soon as they can. And then I'm going to go to this deck now, because we have an interesting thing going on here. We have these cards that laid out like this, and these cards literally popped over upside down. So some tarot readers don't like to take the cards that pop out face down, but what I like to do is when cards do that, they're basically messages from the dark, and not like dark devil, but messages from the more like hidden side. So we're going to look at those after we look at this energy here, because we have the Ace of Pentacles. And that is so interesting, Virgo, because we have this, wow, this is interesting. We have, when I see these cards together, I think of this as the 10 of Pentacles. Because we have the 9 of Pentacles here, which is a lady who's, she's come out into her garden. She's came out into her land of fruitation, because we have these grapes growing on the vine around her. That she's in a beautiful garden that is most likely hers. And she's even dressed in something that appears like flowers. So this is someone who's growing, and this just reminds me of an earth energy. I believe Taurus got this card as well. So the earth signs around this time of this full moon, are definitely going to be reflecting on what they've grown so far and what they have as resources, because you have this 9 of Pentacles. So the 9 of Pentacles is almost a completed energy, Virgo. Like, I see that you've been working very hard, and that you're wanting to appreciate the things that are around you, maybe even want to take flight, like this bird on this lady's hand. This lady's in deep thought about what surrounds her, So Virgo, you may want to surround yourself in earth, or surround yourself in things that will fruitate and blossom, because that's what this lady's about. She loves coming out to this garden of hers and just, seeing her pentacles. And it's not all about money. This is anything that you value that you're seeing growing, like your home or your relationships, or, it could be the money that you have growing, because I know Virgo is a very grounded financial sign. But what I was going to say is that you have the Ace of Pentacles too. So it's like, this is who you are, Virgo. Even if you haven't been in too happy of a spot in your life, you've still been carrying this energy, working hard, staying focused, staying positive, staying faithful, and staying hopeful. It's like the universe is like, hey, Virgo, I see that you only have 9 pentacles there. So I'd like to just give you another one, a very huge pentacle, you know. So you have a gift coming in from the universe soon. You see this hand coming from nowhere, and it appears that this is a garden of some sort. So the universe is just going to randomly, you know, give you some type of financial gift. And I've been getting that kind of information for Virgo for quite some time. So for all you Virgos out there worrying about money or worrying about finances, rent, crazy bill, things like that, I know you guys can get kind of caught up in that as an earth sign. Well, don't worry, because there is, you know, and I know you guys, you know, may have difficulty feeling these kind of things because you're so grounded and so practical, but do not forget of that spiritual element that you have, Virgo. You're very, very intuitive. You're very, very spiritual. And if you just access that part of you, you will be able to feel this energy coming in. You basically have the 10 of Pentacles, Virgo. You basically have the 10 of Pentacles. And it's very interesting that that energy is there, because we also have the 9 of Swords. So this is a nightmare card. This is a I can't sleep at night. This is a very I'm lost in my own darkness kind of card. So you've been losing sleep at night. You know, this is an anxiety type of feeling. In this card, you know, there was 4 cards here. And with the Ace of Pentacles doing this, I realized that this was the 9 of Coins. And then you have the 9 of Swords paired with these 2 Ace energies. Even though this is the King of Swords, he still has 1 sword. So it's interesting to apply that same thing, Virgo. It's like you have the 10 of Swords as well. But what I'm seeing here is that this isn't the 10 of Swords, just like that. Just like this isn't the 10 of Pentacles. But in a way it is, because it's the 9 of Pentacles and there's a gift being given to you. So with that same method, Virgo, you know, your nightmares and your dreams and your energy level, the darkness around you has probably gotten quite large, right? It's probably gotten pretty dark. That's what I'm hearing for Virgos. That a lot of Virgos out there, you know, you guys hide it pretty well with softness. This lady is covering up with roses. You see this? She's trying to be peaceful and calm, but this is her real energy. She's dressed in white. She has this rose blanket. So she's trying to hide behind this pure energy like a Virgo would, but there's still darkness, you know, and this is her mind, I want to say. There's these 9 decisions in this lady's head, and in the men Virgo too. But there might be some haunting of decisions that you guys have made. You know, there could be, I don't know why I was just drawn to that little figure down there, because it seemed like kind of like cave drawing, and it just seems like someone's fighting and pushing someone away. So some of you Virgos may be dealing with energy like that, like waking up in the middle of the night because of decisions that you've made. I know Virgos overthink a lot, and not overthink, because when I say that, when people say that, it just applies that you're like going over something, you know, like overboard with it. But I don't want to say that, because you guys are ruled by Mercury. You guys are very logical people, so you think a lot is what I want to say. And a lot of your subconscious, which is very interesting, Virgo, because we have a lot of subconscious energy coming up for you. Leo is your 12th house, so there's so much 12th house energy for you, and I am the 12th house as your opposite sign, so I know how that is. Virgo usually doesn't want to clean up their subconscious because they're really worried about the details at hand right now. So you don't want to waste time focusing on like the wonders of the subconscious, but that's why the universe puts planets where they are, so that Virgo has that time and has that chapter in life where they focus on this energy. Because Virgo, come on, you guys are so beautiful. This lady doesn't have any wings. She's sad, you know. So I don't want the angels of the universe to be feeling this kind of energy. You know, you definitely want to talk to people if you're feeling alone or whatever's going on with you, Virgo. I just feel like there's a lot of things going on with Virgo in the darkness that they might not have talked to anyone about. She's very alone. But like I said, this is paired with the King of Swords. So you are definitely the kings and queens of the decisions of your life. So if you want to move away from this more dark energy, and if you want to apply the mental, this is an intellectual energy. It's more so an air energy, but that doesn't matter because air is about communication, like Gemini. You and Gemini rule the same planet. So Mercury is about air, And it's also about earth, like it's about grounding the intellectual decisions that you make. And this figure is very grounded. You know, there are trees in the back. So this is you, Virgo, becoming more of that silhouetted figure. There's a little bit of clouds in the sky, but there's still two birds flying, right? So you may be on a journey with someone in clear skies. You know, the clouds are very, very going away. This is the straight up cloudy, dark energy. But if you apply this King of Swords, and I love doing that because you have the King of Swords for a reason. This means that you're the king of this energy and that you can overcast it with this kind of energy. This man, he may lose sleep at night sometimes, but not nearly as much as that other card because he's more grounded, and he's also a light energy, right? Virgo sometimes struggles with being bold and harsh. You guys seem like such harsh, realistic, mean people, but you're not. And this applies to the King of Swords because he's such a figure, right? He's such a grounded, intellectual figure. But look at what's carved on his throne. These beautiful butterflies and angels. So this is a strong figure who is so soft on the inside. So I believe this comes up for you, Virgo, because you guys are very grounded and strong, and you guys are very intellectual decision makers. But you don't forget about that soft energy that you have. And it may be the reason why this energy has overgrown. Because Virgo may have shied away from that vulnerable, soft side because of, afraid of being hurt. But as long as you apply this King of Swords to those decision making, I love that those two cards came out. These are very important messages. This is basically two situations where you are lacking, Virgo, where the universe comes in to make you the ace. Like you have the 9 of Pentacles, but now you have the 10. And you had the 9 of Swords, but now you have this king. You have another sword being given to you by the gods to help you with that darkness that you are facing, Virgo. And, this energy is moving fast. So let's go ahead and see what these cards here have to say for you. So there's definitely a journey that you're going on. Because we have the 6 of Swords. And the 6 of Swords, I believe we spoke about before. But for those of you who are just watching this video for the first time and seeing this card for the first time, 6 of Swords is a lot like what it looks like. You see these people on this boat rowing through this water. But, this man always sticks out to me. The man who's rowing with a staff in his hand. Because he's the one doing all the hard work. And Virgo, that might apply to you this month. You've done a lot of hard work, possibly even to get other people places. And you have these decisions, right? You have these decision swords. And it's interesting that they're shoved into that boat. Because we all know that if they were shoved a little farther, they could sink. So you might have made a couple of decisions, Virgo, that it was either sink or swim, right? That's what I hear for you, is that it was either sink or swim. And you made some decisions that were, you're very practical. Virgo does not make emotional decisions, and it's actually a good thing, because your other half, like Pisces, I make every decision I make is like an emotional decision, and it's good because I'm very emotionally intelligent because of that. But at the same time, not everything involves emotions. I make emotional decisions about work and about things where my emotions just kind of get the best of me. But Virgo knows how to utilize their emotions that they do have, which is symbolized by the water here. But this is still a strong, grounded figure. He's sad, just like these people, but he's not allowing that to distract him, because if he weren't going to do this, who would? The small child can't get them across the river, and the lady can't get them. She's too sad, So you're getting these not only yourself to greatness, there's earth back there. You guys are headed there to the land right there. Yeah, you're gonna get these people there. Virgo's very responsible and very loyal, very grounded. So it just shows me that during these emotional times, even if you seemed kind of like an asshole, you stayed grounded because that was what your natural calling was. You couldn't give in to the emotions in Cancer season, even though some of you may, Cancer season's hard to hide from. But you are on this emotional decision journey now, Virgo, and you have a decision to make. You've already made a few decisions, but this is a person who's made a decision to leave, and they're leaving powerfully, but they're also leaving with a little bit of regret. So, Mercury retrograde could also bring up some of that regret for you, because Mercury is, a blast from the past, things like that. But we have this Pentacle energy here, the 8 of Pentacles. which shows someone working on their self. And Virgo, you know, this energy is happening for you in your sixth house, this full moon. And I want to apply this. Hopefully you applied all of that to your sixth house, because we're going to break these energies down, and we have a few more minutes, 10 more minutes or so to get these messages across to you. And I do believe this is self-work happening, Virgo, because in this card, what I always pay attention to is how his house is in the distance over here. Like, he's from this town over here, but he has left and moved outside of his own town to do some work. This is individual self-work. Hello, humans. Sorry. So yeah, this is definitely, maybe that was a sign, like, this is bingo. But yeah, you definitely have some self-work to do on your own individual lifestyle, because I really, really feel that this is for the sixth house energy happening on the 7th with that Aquarius moon. You know, like, Aquarius energy is the south node right now. So as far as your lifestyle and the community that you work for, Virgo, it'll definitely be pinpointed as far as because Aquarius rules, like, the groups of people around us and the communities and stuff. So that you may be working on relationships around you, but, you know, more so, Virgo, this is like your own values, because pentacles represent money and value, your resources, things like that. So you're working on your resources, and this is, you know, that's completely point on, because with a sixth house, you're the sixth house energy, which, you know, that brings me back to the Six of Swords. With this sixth house energy, you might have had 6 decisions, and 6 is an angelic number, and that's coming up for you, Virgo. But as far as this card, you know, I do believe I do believe that this is just self-work, and, you know, work on yourself. This is work by yourself. You know, you might work better as an individual as a Virgo, because let's face it, you're the hardest worker ever. And then interesting that you have this Knight of Cups and this Knight of Pentacles, because this is interesting. This is very interesting. These two figures, they're very, very similar. They're both protected. You know, one of them is covered with fish, though, and Leo got this card as well. So you may be working more. This may be the subconscious energy coming in for you, because Pisces is the 12th house. And the 12th house is more in-depth, under the, you know, kind of like an under the ocean feel. Definitely deep is what I want to say. So you have this Knight of Cups coming in, and, you know, this kind of seems to me like pureness coming to Virgo, because there's a white horse that I see, and it's like you're on this horse. This is a reflection of what you're going to be, Virgo. Someone who's more emotional, more in touch with their emotional side and what they feel, but still protected at the same time. So Virgo, it would be very amazing for you to find that balance between being an emotional person and someone who can protect themselves with their emotions. Because I know you protect yourself a lot, but sometimes that comes at the cost of throwing your emotions to the side, because you just want to seem strong no matter what. But the universe is telling me to tell you that some of you Virgos could benefit from embracing your emotional strength. And because of that, if you take this path, you will have something given to you. Or maybe you can give something to someone else. Because it's like both of these knights have something to offer. It's as if someone is standing over here like, "Hi, knight." And he's like, "Well, hello, here you go. You can have this cup." You know, it's like getting given to you, or you giving someone else something. And it's definitely an emotional gift, Virgo. Because you see this water back here, this flowing river. I definitely wanted to point that out. It's about the mountains that you can get over, you know? It's about flowing through the mountains to get to your element. Like, you have, it looks like trees back there. Yeah, some trees. You know, and they're very grounded. And they're also silhouette trees. So there's a silhouette energy for Virgo as well, which is working behind the scenes kind of thing. So that's the Knight of Cups. You know, I do believe that that's an emotional gift being given to you. And let's not ignore the wings. This is like an archangel energy, because he has wings on his helmet. So it symbolizes what he fights for. This is a fighter of emotions, a fighter of purity, a fighter of God. Like, he has these wings on his foot. So where he walks is elevated. Where he thinks is elevated. So that's interesting that those wings are on his armor. So he's protected by angel's grace, and that directly applies to Virgo. But then we have, you know, a more grounded figure where on top of your head is actually, it looks like a tree. You know, this looks like leaves coming out of his helmet. And yeah, there's leaves coming from the horse's head too. So this is actually more of a mental stability growing for you, whereas your head was kind of in the clouds here, you know, with these wings, but then your thoughts become grounded, which is why we see this kind of leafy energy above his head. So this is his crown chakra being protected, and this is his crown chakra being protected because of his thoughts are growing. And you know, those two can go hand in hand. And instead of a white horse now, we have a black horse, which isn't evil or anything. It just means that you're giving less attention to how pure you look. You know, it's like you know you're pure, so you'd rather have a bold figure that's more intimidating than come in on such purity. And that might be something that you learn, Virgo, with these earth thoughts happening with you. And you also have trees back here, and you know, there's a lot of land, and the water is almost can't be seen. You know, that I don't even know if that is water. It looks like a bridge almost, like that's water under the bridge. And that might mean something to you too, Virgo. Like, water under the bridge is like, it is what it is. You know, oh, it's all water under the bridge now. So, you know, I love that that night energy popped up for you, though, because you guys are definitely going to be more protected in August when it comes to your emotions, and when it comes to how grounded you are. You may be grounding your emotions. There's definitely some work you're doing on self journeys, remember? So that is very interesting. So let's go ahead and see. Oh, I don't want to forget to show you this. You definitely have, oh, this might apply, because we had the Fool card at the bottom of my deck, which is there's a new beginning towards the end of August for you. So around that eclipse in your 12th house, there's a 12th house eclipse for you in Leo on the 21st. So that is when this, I feel that is when this new beginning is going to start for you, especially because the sun is here and the purity is here, you know, and you're probably not going to be going on this journey alone. You may have a faithful friend with you. You had this card last time too, Virgo. So that new beginning is definitely still in play for you. But it may take, you know, some of this to leave on a new journey. You know, there's a new journey happening for you. And it's most likely happening fast, which is why this energy is being addressed. Because we wouldn't want to go on any emotional journeys with that darkness, you know, with us, right? But I wanted to show you these two cards, because you have the Mercury card and you have the Fool card. So what I see this happening, Virgo, is that the way that you think, because the Magician card is ruled by Mercury, and it reminds me of Virgo. So you have this, these are both empowered figures. It's like you go on this new journey and the sunlight right here winds up shining over your whole body. Can you see that? Can you see how the sun and the light, like, it's like these are together. This sun is shining down on this magician man. Those are very similar energies. And they're both in yellow. You know, you just have a little bit more growth work here. And you're completely covered in light, Virgo. Your mind, you know, you have this infinity symbol above your mind. So for Mercury to be going retrograde and for it to be going into the past, there may, you know, that's amazing for you in Gemini, because that's your ruling planet. I don't think it messes with you as much as it does the rest of us. But you have nothing to worry about, Virgo, because you have the sword, you have the wand, you have the cup, and you have the pentacle. So you're a jack of all trades right now. And, you know, you're large and in charge with this wand drawn. And, you know, this is Mercury. So you know what I'm going to do? And there's also this card, Cancer card, new beginning with your emotions, new beginning with an actual Cancer. Cancer got a Virgo's card too. So, yeah, there could be, that could apply to some of you, this new beginning here. But what I'm going to do is just go ahead and get some information for Mercury retrograde. I'm going to leave the Magician card right here. And we're just going to try to get a little bit more information as we close this video up for Virgo. What can Virgo expect? Because actually, Virgo, Mercury is in your sign. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. But Mercury, you're ruled by Mercury, and it's so amazing to have Mercury there in Virgo. But it makes this retrograde stronger. It's going to retrograde in Virgo, but it's going to end in Leo. So we have Mercury leaving Virgo at the end of this month. And I just want to see if there's any messages for my opposite sign, Virgo, for Mercury going retrograde. So we have this card showing itself, which is the Five of Cups. And I think you had this before, Virgo. This is the have and have-nots energy. So with Mercury going retrograde, you know, you are the magician of this. So, you know, you have your own magician cup. So you're the magician when it comes to this kind of energy. If we're not careful, if we focus all our energy on our emotions, and that's probably why you have had a lot of emotional growing energy too. I noticed that in your reading, Virgo, that you're actually starting to see your emotions as something strong for you. Whereas before, years ago, you could have never ever shown your emotions. But through Cancer season and through all this like intuitive subconscious energy, you've probably learned that your emotions aren't that bad, and you could actually use your emotions to help you and to protect you. And you know, that's so much like your opposite sign, Pisces, because that's what we do. We use our emotions as our strength. You know, it's emotional strength. But yeah, you know, be careful, Virgo, because some emotions aren't good. And if you take a closer look at this card, you know, we have this water. Water is poured out here. Water. It looks like there's even some red spilled out. So this is bloodshed and tears and emotion. This is sweat and blood. Like this is, maybe this is like my sweat. This is all my sweat and blood went into that work. You know, when people say that, like all my sweat and blood went into that. And if you focus on that, you'll be more like this dark figure. Like he doesn't even show his face to us. He's so caught up in these 3 cups that have fell over that he doesn't even realize these 2 large cups behind him. And if he's not careful, he'll back right up into them and knock them over too, you know. So it'll be like an all lose situation. It doesn't matter, Virgo, that the 3 cups knocked over and there's only 2 left. You know, it's like the glass half full or half empty. This is your typical choice to either be an optimist or a pessimist. And another thing, we have the water under the bridge again. So Virgo, I feel like the universe is asking you to chop situations up to it's all water under the bridge. You know, if there's any drama or emotional pain, problems in relationships, problems in your 6th house of lifestyle. So this is like all applied to your lifestyle. This is your 6th house and your 1st house and your 12th house are being activated. So that's your lifestyle, that's your subconscious, your dreams, and it's who you are. Your 1st house is what you're aware of. And I say 1st house because Mercury is going retrograde in your 1st house. And at the end of this month, on the 22nd, we'll have the sun move into Virgo, you know, and that'll be your solar return. So my next videos are going to be all about Virgo and all about your guys' solar returns and your birthdays. So that'll be very interesting. But yeah, I think this is just saying, Virgo, that you know, you're ruled by Mercury. The Mercury card shows itself to you. So this Mercury retrograde can either turn you into a pessimist or an optimist. It's just trying to show you the light of the situation. This guy is not like the Magician card. He's covered in darkness and not in light. And instead of realizing all that he has, which is AKA everything on this table, everything, he's just worrying about, you know, he's just worrying about these. He's just worrying about what fell instead of what he still has. And little do you know, what you still have, Virgo, is everything. You have everything you need. You have the light, you have Mercury, you have the infinity sign above your head. So all of that is just great. I really hope that helped, Virgo. So just as a little present, and because we have a few more minutes left, I wanted to see if any other messages come out for Virgo. Is there anything that I forgot, Spirit? Oh, hi, Virgo. This is your energy. I love that. Like, almost teary-eyed. That's so sweet. There's definitely this energy on the bottom of the deck, too. Virgo. Why did the Virgo card pop out, other than what I already know? Oh, wow. We have the Aries card and the Judgment card. Wow. So this is kind of a God energy, Virgo. That was deep at the end of our video. I did not expect that. But this is the Aries card is showing up to you because you may have an Aries in your life. I watch astrology videos often. And yeah, Aries and Virgo have been getting the same cards. So Aries and Virgo, aka the God and the God and the angels. See the darkness trying to interfere with that? Interfere with this beautiful message. Definitely God and the angels are coming together, you know. When I see Aries and Virgo energy paired together, I always think of God and the angels, because Aries is the emperor, and he's the god of the tarot deck, and he's the first sign. Aries, and he or she, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So you definitely have this figure, this wise figure, and this is either speaking to you, Virgo, becoming more like an Aries energy, holding the world in your hand while all this fire is going on in Leo season. having the skills to make decisions, being protected at the same time on your throne, covered in passion. Either this or there's an Aries figure that you will be dealing with in August, and not necessarily in a bad way. And then we also have the Judgment card and the Tower card at the bottom of your deck, Virgo. So you're being called by the angels, and I do believe you had this card last time too, Virgo. But this card is amazing. This is a Pluto card, and Pluto is the world ruler of the underworld. So yeah, Virgo, you know, you're an angel. These are angels on this card. These are people being called and resurrected. This reminds me of a resurrection energy. And it's so interesting that it would come up with Aries, God. It's like God is resurrecting you. And you know, that is interesting, Virgo, because I remember doing Gemini's video a couple hours ago, and I'm not sure, they didn't get the Aries card, but they did get the Judgment card, and they got the Gemini card. So it's, to me, what I'm realizing is that it's this Mercury energy. For Mercury to be going retrograde, you know, there's this energy is hidden in that transit. So Gemini and Virgo being ruled by Mercury, I believe that this, especially Mercury going in and out of Leo, where the North Node is, you guys have a lot of destiny right now, Virgo, and Gemini as well. Gemini and Leo's reading were very similar. So there's just this Mercury energy, and there's this calling energy, especially for you, Virgo. Like these two cards here, you know, there's an energy calling the angels right now. You know, there is a lot of going on with dark and the light and everything like that. And it may cause things to fall down. And this card was not immediately in your reading, Virgo. This was more so on the bottom of my deck. So this is just energy hiding in between the cracks of August. But I do believe that everything happens for a reason. And that, you know, things have to change. Things have to change in order for things to re-begin. So for these cards, what happened was it was the Judgment card. I wanted to show you that. And when I pulled it, it revealed the Tower card. So it kind of shows me that when you are called by this prophetic force, by these angelic souls, you know, they may tell you something about this tower. They may tell you, look, Virgo, come with us angels and let everything fall apart. You're wanted elsewhere. You know, and these people are jumping the tower. They're like flying the coop, you know, like they can no longer live there. They can no longer be there. So there's a situation, Virgo, that you've been in, you know, probably for a long time and out throughout June and July that will not allow or be able to continue in August. So yeah. And I just love this God and angel energy. God and angels are teaming up. And you guys are definitely up to something, and it just feels so empowering and so beautiful, you know. So we have the Aries and the Virgo here. So whatever that might mean to some of you, you know, some of you may be with an Aries, some of you may have Aries moon. I love that your card popped out though. That makes me so happy when that happens. Definitely, you know, there's some work going on with your home and with your relationships, and as far as you need to rest, stuff like that, the cards are telling me that. And there's some emotional energy. You know, we do have the King of Cups here showing itself to you. So Virgo, you guys are becoming the king and queens of your emotions. And because of that, you know, of course, there may be some decision making. And we have the Gemini card showing itself to you, the Lovers card. I sense a lot of that. The Ace of Pentacles is showing itself to you again. And we have the Taurus card. And the Wish Come True card. Virgo, yeah, you know, there's a lot of messages here for you, but I hope I did well, at least for the month of August. And I'm going to tell you, like I told everyone else, if you have any additional questions, you know, I'm not the kind of astrologer that charges like millions of dollars for you to get a tarot reading. Like, I do this because I'm passionate about it, and I do it because I want to, and because I feel like this is my calling in life. So if you have any additional questions, or if you would like me to pull additional tarot cards for you personally, for your situation, feel free to comment below, or add me on Facebook, Braylon Janae Caldwell, or you could hit me up on Twitter or Instagram, which is Pisces Priestess, like it's spelled in my username for YouTube. Because I would love, you know, I would definitely love to do some personal readings with you guys and get some personal answers if this was confusing, you know. But I definitely tried to interpret the messages as best as I could. And yeah, we're running out of time here now, Virgo. But I wish you the best in August. Definitely hold tight and heed all that information. You know, as I was reading, just remember all those things apply to your house of lifestyle and your subconscious. And definitely hang in there throughout all these eclipses. You know, the eclipses were in Pisces and Virgo last year, and we survived that. Okay, I was the south node, you were the north node, and we definitely brought in all this energy and kind of handed it off to Leo and Aquarius. So we're just kind of chilling now. I believe we're still important to the universal karma. You know, Virgo and Pisces always are. But let's just be happy that, you know, these eclipses aren't on our sun signs anymore. Even though we'll still be affected as humans, they're not exactly in our sun. You know, that was pretty tough for me, Virgo. And I know with the Virgo I was with, it's not been easy either for her. But just hang in there, Virgo, because on the 22nd of August, the sun will enter your sign and angels will be everywhere. And I am looking forward to that. And I'm very much looking forward to doing the readings in September, especially yours, Virgo. So have a good August, and I'll speak to you in your season.